this is Professor Kim Nelson with the Jewelry Design Department at FIT. Doing a tutorial here, continuing with our preset video. Sorry about the abrupt interruption, guys. Technical glitch, had to stop the video and I'm picking it back up again. As I was saying, a good way to find the center is to use a sphere, 2 points. Okay. I'll try and be consistent about which point I grab on each stone, but even if I was slightly off, it wouldn't be a terrible crisis. Okay, so I have the spacers going in. It gets sticky with the software running in the background. Okay. And now that I have that in location, I can make a center point. Point object center. Now I can delete the spheres. What I really wanted them for was those center points. Reverse flow them. Ignore the kid in the background. That put them in location down here. However, they aren't really flush to anything because those weren't precise, those spheres. I'm going to project them to C-plane. And I'm going to change them to the gray layer, just so I can organize my drawing better. And once again, I'm going to want to use that perpendicular from curve both sides from point, the one option that Rhino will not tolerate unless I'm in an orthographic view. Although it might be a little easier this time because these aren't actually right on the point. Both sides. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to do this approach where I make little tiny curves. Because those points aren't close enough to use them to snap to on this curve as a starting point, but I can use them for their location. Select my tray boundary, extend curve. That curve boundary becomes the border, and I throw away the points now. I take these three curves that I just made, project them onto the surface below. Put them back on the green layer. Take them from here and flow them back up into location. It's a lot of back and forth. Transform flow along curve. And you can see how well that worked out. This will allow me to put a nice partition centered between each one of those stones. These will also act as guides to put the beads on when that time comes. So, I have my stones in place. I have my tray outline. The only thing I need to do now is to surface. Okay. I need to set the depth on this so that it drops a ways down in under the culet of the stones, under the pavilion. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to record history and do a loft. And then I'm going to move this curve down, just straight down. Okay. And I want it to bite well into my stones. Something like that. Okay. I want to know how far I moved it. I moved it 0.29, so 0.3 of a millimeter. Okay, I can undo. I need to offset this surface 0.3 of a millimeter in. Extract surface copy equals yes. Offset. Follow the arrow direction, so it'll be a positive number, 0.3. And 0.3. I expect it to be distorted. I expect weird things to happen. It usually does with offset surface. I don't care. I just want something to pull this curve down to. Not project, pull. I want the surface to act as a magnet. And now I can delete those surfaces. And I'll do my loft. again, but now instead of pulling straight down, which I did just to sketch, was not accurate. It didn't really follow the surface properly. It's like an offset versus a scale. It just didn't give me what I would really need. Pull did, but I didn't know how far to offset the surface to pull to until I did it by eye a little bit, as a sketch, as it were. Loft. See how complex that surface is? There's no reason for that. It's because I have complicated curves. I'm going to rebuild them. I don't really care what the numbers are. They can be quite high. 18. And now I'll loft again. And I should get a much better looking surface. And loft again. Double check that is indeed giving me what I had planned on. Okay. Just arguing with myself whether that's deep enough. I don't think it is. I'm going to do my offsets again. This time, instead of being 0.3, I'm going to make it 0.4. Join green layer, rebuild, loft, check it against my stones. I like that better. Okay, so I've got that. Next thing I want to do is I want to get a point where this curve runs into this channel that I've made. So curve extend again. Actually, it's probably smarter just to extend it too far. Curve, extend by line. There. Going to split this curve again so I can array this vertical the rest of the way down. Array along curve. Same distance we used before. That should line up perfectly with the stones, which it does. Use this tray to trim off the ends. And now I'm going to create a triangle, three-sided polycurve. End, and back, end. I'm going to do this all the way along. At the end, when we're done with this, we're going to have a faceted bottom. needs to actually use this arced curve. So I'll just explode them, take that one out, rejoin, and throw the flat one away. I can select two at once, explode them, take out the center line, join them back together. Oh, except for I don't. No, never mind. I gotta keep going one by one. That's what I get for trying to be in a hurry. It wouldn't have worked. Just trust me. And yes, I could have saved myself some trouble by just doing a two-sided polyline instead of a three-sided, but I didn't foresee that as I was working, so I get to be punished with the slight tedium of tidying that back up. Okay. I'm going to be making a three-sided surface. This will not be a planar surface. Okay. I am going to pull these onto here. Although this time I do want to delete the originals. So pull, delete input equals yes. Okay. Try again. There. So I have what I need to do my surfacing. Surface is going to be a simple surface in 2, 3, or 4 edge curves. Okay. I like it when the lines radiate towards the center. So I pick the back curve first. Use the surfaces to trim out the tray, in theory. And if Rhino says no, use the curves. Curves are always stronger for cutting than surfaces. That gives us our tray. course, Rhino says none of it can be joined together, so we force it with join edge. And see, it's saying 7 millimeters apart. These are not 7 millimeters apart, nor are they 3 millimeters apart. Rhino just hates the math here. I should be able to use a regular join command to put these together. Yeah. So you can see what I've created. I've created a tray that catches each individual stone. Okay? So, I'm going to check, don't know why that didn't join. Unable to join, fine. Join edge. Analyze edge tools. Just looking to see if there are any left. Okay. We have problems down in the points here. I'm not terribly concerned about that. We're going to be punching the points out with our cutter. So that tray will suffice for now. Okay. What I do need to do though is to orient or align my beads. So that will be next. Thanks for watching.